And one of the important things that Nick and Zach figured out was this concept of scaled economy shared. So scaled economy shared is a extremely powerful model. So what happens with most businesses is as they scale, they get operating leverage and the business gets more efficient and the profits increase. So for example, if I take a business like, let's say, MasterCard. So MasterCard basically collects like 20 basis points or 25 basis points on every credit card transaction that is charged to MasterCard anywhere in the world. So that 20, 25 basis points comes to them. And of course, their costs are a bunch of servers and a bunch of networks. They don't have much cost. And so as more and more transactions are going through MasterCard, their profitability keeps rising because their costs don't go up with. But what a company like MasterCard does, it keeps the spoils from the scaling. They don't share the scaling profits with the customers. So that is not what Nick is talking about. What he's talking about is enlightened businesses, which as they scale, give the benefits of that scale back to the customer. And there are very, very few businesses that are enlightened enough to do that. So a great business which doesn't exist in India yet, but maybe some of you might be somewhat familiar with, is Costco. And in fact, DMart, Avenue Supermarkets, took a lot of lessons from Costco in their business model. The DMart business model is kind of a combination of Costco and Walmart, which is why nobody can touch them and which is why they do so well. But the Costco model is that Costco, for example, has a rule that any product they sell, the maximum markup that they allow is 15%. So they will not have a markup more than 15% on any product they're selling. And the products are really cheap compared to the other competitors. So for example, Walmart or even Amazon, the typical margin is about 25% or 30%. And so pretty much almost anything you can buy at Walmart or Amazon, if you go to Costco, it will be maybe 10% cheaper. So it's a significant delta. Now, Costco can easily charge more. If they charge more, their profits will go up. But they believe that their lifetime profits will go down. And Costco does not think of itself as a retailer. They think of themselves as a buying agent for their customers. So they charge membership fees. I pay $50 or $75 a year to be a member of Costco to shop there. Pretty much all the 15% margin they take is used to run the business. They don't make any money on that. The only money they make is the membership fee. So that the membership fee is actually what shows up in net income. And so Costco does not think they are in the business of trying to maximize profit. They're in the business of trying to serve their customers. So for example, let's take like a category like wine, for example. So Costco has these specialist wine buyers who have gone all over the world and they have found the best vineyards. And then they have told those vineyard owners, listen, you don't need to do any marketing anymore. We will take your entire output. For the next 20 years, we will take your entire output. You just focus on making great wine. But we will take your output, but we will pay you a fair price, not the high price, because we are giving you a guarantee. As long as you keep your quality up, you're guaranteed that the business will come to you. And so they have great relationships with their suppliers. And when you go to Costco to buy wine, for example, in any wine store, the same wine will be 2 or 3 times the price. So their wines are extremely high quality. They don't mark up more than 15%. And the customers, cannot get that type of deal. So each time a new Costco opens, all the Costco's benefit because they have more scale and more buying power. So this scaled economy shared model that Nick Sleep honed in on, he felt it was an extremely powerful model and it leads to very long runways. So Amazon follows the same model. It's also a scaled economy share. It believes in sharing as much as it can with the customer, keep the price as low as possible, all of that. And look at lifetime value. And the third, Berkshire Hathaway, they have like Geico Insurance and so on. They are following the same track. So his perspective was that if you just had a portfolio that just followed this particular nuance of investing, you would do extremely well. And so when I read that, I was very intrigued. I said, I have no argument with what he's trying to say. I think the guy is pretty enlightened. So I contacted Nick again because I hadn't been in touch with him. Then he sent me all his letters. And actually, if you just go on Google and just do Nick Sleep investor letters or Nomad investor letters, you can pull up all the letters. They are on the internet. He's posted them. And I think those letters are really worth reading. So the chapter 6 is worth reading, but the letters are worth reading. And so I realized that which should have been obvious to me for a long time, is that you are going to do very well as an investor if you can identify businesses that have very significant growth ahead, that have high returns on equity, treat the customers really well, and have a durable moat and a durable competitive advantage. You don't necessarily need to just focus on the scaled economy share that Nick Sleep focused on. Another